and welcome to Business 300. My name is Philip Kulenshoff, and this is 300 Seconds About Business. We're all a busy people, so I have 5 minutes or less to get my point across.
There are two kinds of business owners in 20 kinds of industries across hundreds of different contexts. So that means there are actually tens of thousands of different kinds of business owners. Welcome to the club. You're one in a million. Whoa. But out of those tens of thousands, perhaps we can contrast two of them to draw some helpful guidelines around the topic of partnerships in business. What is a partnership? You can take this to mean literal business partnerships. That's fine. But at least for this discussion, I'd like to expand the definition a bit. I would like to include in the idea of partnership all attempts to work with other people towards mutual wins, even if you don't share ownership in a business. You can act like a partner with your employees, your subcontractors, your vendors, and even your customers. It has more to do with mindset and attitude than contracts and signatures. Partnership, as I'm talking about it, is about having a shared objective. It's when we both care and act like we care for the same goal. So, taking this definition of partnership, let's contrast those two types of business owners. There's the business owner who goes about building his business alone. Maybe he's been burned too many times in the past, or just has more of a misanthropic demeanor to life. Whatever the reason, this lone businessman does it all himself. He has a hard time holding down employees, subcontractors and vendors don't live up to his standards, and even customers are a burden on his business. This lone businessman can only rely on himself to get the job done, and therefore is his own limitation. He can only do so much, and so will only do as much as he can. Without any place for partnerships in his playbook, he is destined to bear the burdens on his own. A man's back can only take so much. The other kind of business owner is one that sees value in bringing others into the game and is willing to pay for it. But the way he pays for it is not just monetarily. Sometimes he has to trade some of his own expectations and preferences in order to win the bigger game. Maybe the employee he hired isn't ideal, but he'll help bring the business to the next level. Maybe his customer is a pain, but he puts food on the table while the business grows to a level where it can be more choosy with its customers. The partner-minded businessman knows that it'll take working with others in order to reach his goals, and so he's willing to give $1 to gain 3, or to give up a preference today to get closer to his goals tomorrow. The lone businessman will have a hard time understanding this kind of approach. He'll call it compromise. He'll call it carelessness. But the partner-minded businessman doesn't think in mutually exclusive categories. His mindset is not fixated on yes and no, black and white groupings. He doesn't presume that he understands life clearly enough to not need nuance. As a business owner, an unwillingness to give up some of your preferences will come back to get you. And it usually comes in a form of being overwhelmed and anxious with nobody around to help carry the burden. You've pushed people away, were unwilling to work with others, and so you got what you wanted. Sure, the partner-minded businessman isn't going to get everything he wants, at least not right away, and maybe never. It'd be great to eat cake without it going away, but in order to keep your car moving forward, you can't hoard the fuel. You have to spend it. So, if you want to be a sustainable and flourishing business owner, you're going to have to make some choices and put things into categories. Is your aspiration or the thing you're objecting to a preference, a principle, or a priority? And of course, those categories are on a spectrum with overlap. They're not ideal, but I'm not picky. The point is to decide what's worth fighting for, and where is it okay to make room in order to land some mutual wins with others and help your own business. If everything is a priority, you probably have some misalignment somewhere. Is the issue at hand a preference, a principle, or a priority? Don't be picky.